Illumination Entertainment and Illumination Animation, which is, you know, long story short, it is basically the animation department of Warner Brothers at this point. Warner Brothers bought Illumination back in the 90s, and now it has become their full-fledged animation. You know, they do Minions and Despicable Me, etc., etc. So Illumination is in talks with Nintendo to do an animated Super Mario movie. And again, that's all it is, guys. It's that they're in talks. You know, they're saying, we could do this. Nintendo's like, how about this? And, you know, talks have been going on, but that does not mean at all that a confirmed deal has happened. And, you know, they may or may not even tell us that a confirmed deal has happened. And if they did, it wouldn't be for months until they had something to actually show us. I honestly don't believe that this will go anywhere. Nintendo has been in talks in the past.
Yeah, how many failed Mario
many.
animated attempts have we seen in the last decade?
Many. There's been Blue Sky Entertainment, and the biggest one that might have almost happened was just about 3 or 4 years ago. Sony was in talks with Nintendo to do a 3D animated Mario movie, and this was right around the time of those Sony hacks, when Sony got hacked, and a lot of people realized, like, oh, they're trying to do an Aunt May Spider-Man spinoff. That's weird, and that's when they kind of like gave up. And let Marvel, you know, use Spider-Man again, etc., etc. So Sony, whatever was going to happen with Sony and Nintendo, it didn't happen. And yeah, and then years before that, I think is it Blue Sky? I think Blue Sky, the company that does like Ice Age and that stuff, they were in talks to do a Mario movie. Those talks ended. So no, I don't think that, I would be very, very surprised. I mean, it could happen. It could happen. I would just be very surprised because Nintendo, ever since the failure of movies like the Super Mario Brothers movie from like, what, 1992, they've been very protective of their IPs, and they're going to be extremely hesitant.
Do you know if Nintendo approached Illuminate or if it was the other way around?
It sounds like Illumination approached Nintendo. That's how it always goes. Nintendo, again, Nintendo's very, very protective of their IPs.
Okay, because I've heard some back and forth on whether or not Nintendo approached them or they approached Nintendo. Not that it makes a huge difference. You know, it demonstrates intent, and I think I would be fascinated to... I think, you know, the idea that Nintendo approaching them would give it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But... we'll see. I'm not convinced yet. I would say I'm a little more optimistic than him that this will actually get made. I feel like you know, like the time is right. But, you know, you got two very particular institutions.
Yeah, it's too bad that first Mario live-action movie was so bad, because that...
such a dumpster fire.
That really put the bad taste in Nintendo's mouth. Like, oh, we can't let, you know, these movie companies handle our properties. So, you know, of course, I do hope eventually that they do start trusting movie companies, because, of course, a Legend of Zelda movie trilogy would be...
I want a TV series. I want a Legend of Zelda TV series.
You know, that's right. I keep forgetting we're in the age of like Netflix and Hulu, and I've said
I want Amazon Prime to pick up like heroes, like some Hyrulean like Game of Thrones.
You know,
shit.
Yeah, that's right. That would be the best. I love movies. I've always loved movies, but you know, we're living in an age where we do have these big, huge budget TV shows that can tell a bigger story, and maybe that's where the life of some of these IPs live. I mean, look at the Castlevania Netflix series was only a few episodes, but it's on the hope that you know, they'll be able to produce more seasons. That's why it only covered like the very beginning of Castlevania 3, you know, and what have you. So anyways, yeah,
those 2 episodes, they were short, but they were very compelling.
Yeah,
and I think just about resoundingly everybody who watched that, at least of all my friends, and you know, I got some old Castlevania fans and whatnot. I know in and amongst our fan base, I'm speaking for Scott specifically, there's a couple of very outspoken Castlevania fans, and I think the consensus was, even amongst hardcore fans and even people who may not know that much about Castlevania, that that one was they hit it pretty clean on the head.
Yeah,
it was pretty epic.
I'm a big fan of classic Castlevania, specifically the first 4 games, and yeah, this one was it is going for that Castlevania 3-ish story, and I liked where it's going, and it's a good adaptation so far, and I hope that they do continue it. But yeah, Mario animated movie, we'll see. You know, once they've actually confirmed that it's happening, then I'll be more on board for talking about it. But right now, it's like it probably won't happen.
Don't forget to watch our entire Video Game Talk podcast. And as always, please subscribe to the Rich Alvarez channel and hit that little bell thing that gives you the notifications. That way you actually see these videos. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.